Welcome to After the Rain, a storytelling podcast from Playa Lakes Joint Venture. These are the voices stewarding the land and the stories that surface after the rain. Bryce Peterson knows ranching in eastern New Mexico, and that means learning to live with limits. Limits on rainfall, limits on groundwater, and sometimes limits tied to the wildlife that share the same landscape. But for Peterson, those challenges are simply part of managing land responsibly in one of the most complex regions of the Southern High Plains.
We have a gallon of water everywhere. We don't have 5 gallons of water anywhere. We're right on the edge of the Ogallala Aquifer.
Across Lee and Chavez counties, Peterson manages a mix of private and state trust land near the western edge of the Ogallala Aquifer, a region where water scarcity shapes nearly every decision producers make. He is preparing to restore several playas across his operation, shallow wetlands that capture rainfall, provide habitat for migratory birds, and help recharge groundwater supplies below the surface. That reality has pushed Peterson to think differently about conservation and long-term stewardship. For him, playa restoration is not simply about creating wildlife habitat. It's about helping maintain the natural cycle of water movement in a region where every drop matters.
I think it's pretty important to keep that cycle working properly.
But restoring playas in eastern New Mexico comes with unique challenges. Much of Peterson's operation lies within Lesser Prairie-Chicken habitat, an area where seasonal restrictions can limit certain land management activities during nesting season.
Can't put pipelines in, can't build fences, things of that nature.
Still, Peterson says the conservation attention tied to the species has brought major benefits to the region.
The amount of funds that the Lesser Prairie-Chicken has brought to my area for rangeland habitat and improvements far supersedes any negative. Projects like this probably exist because of the listing of the Lesser Prairie-Chicken.
The project itself is still in the early stages. Peterson says restoration work has not officially begun yet as agencies and partners navigate timing restrictions and district boundaries before construction can start. Once restoration begins, Peterson hopes to address more than just the playas themselves. In the areas surrounding the wetlands, erosion channels have developed over time, altering the way water naturally flows across the landscape.
Not only planning on restoring the playa, but planning on restoring the surrounding areas while we have the equipment there to kind of overall benefit what it should have been without the disturbance prior to mankind.
Years of drought across New Mexico has also changed the way many producers think about conservation.
If anything will make you be a conservationist, a drought will.
At the same time, Peterson acknowledges the region faces competing economic pressures from industries like oil, gas, and renewable energy development.
Conservation is important for most, but not always the most financially rewarding.
Even so, he believes more landowners are beginning to explore conservation opportunities and partnerships available to them.
It's amazing how much support, how much knowledge was right around you that you really didn't know until you reached out and educated yourself just a little bit.
Looking ahead, Peterson plans to restore all 7 playas across his operation. He knows those projects alone will not solve the region's broader groundwater challenges, but he believes they are still an important step in the right direction.
It's a small piece. We definitely need to make a bigger imprint if we want to make a better result.